Hey everyone, you're listening to Talk English Now. I'm Aidan.
And I'm Maya. And today we're going to talk about one of the most frustrating feelings in the world for an English learner.
I think we all know this feeling. You learn a new word, you write it down, you feel so proud, and then the next day, it's gone. It's on the tip of your tongue, but your mind is just a blank space.
Oh, it's the worst. It's that moment of pure panic where you think, what's wrong with me? My memory is terrible. I'll never be able to remember all these words. You start to believe your brain is broken or that you're just not smart enough to learn a language.
Exactly. That feeling of a bad memory can be so discouraging. But here's the secret. Your brain isn't broken. Your memory isn't bad. You've just been trying to plant seeds in concrete. Today, we're going to show you how to find the good soil.
I love that. So we're not fixing a broken brain, we're just learning how to work with it.
Precisely. We're calling this episode the Memory Garden because we're going to give you real neuroscience-backed tools to stop forgetting words and start growing your vocabulary in a way that feels natural and joyful.
A memory garden. That already feels so much kinder than a memory test.
It is. And the first thing to understand is that our brains don't remember things just because we tell them to. They remember things that are meaningful. This brings us to tool number 1. Give the word a home.
Give the word a home. What do you mean by that?
Think about it. When you learn a word from a long list or a boring flashcard, that word is homeless. It's just a random piece of data floating in space. It has no connections, no roots. So your brain, which is designed to be efficient, sees this lonely word and thinks, this isn't important, and sweeps it away.
So a homeless word is a forgettable word.
Exactly. To make a word stick, you have to give it a home. And a home is a strong connection to something else in your mind, an emotion, a vivid image, a personal memory, or even a physical sensation. For example, instead of just memorizing the word hilarious, think of the funniest video you ever saw. Feel the laughter in your stomach. Picture your friend's face when they were crying with laughter. Now, the word hilarious has a home. It's connected to a real feeling.
That makes so much sense. I remember when I first learned the Spanish word vergüenza, which means shame or embarrassment. I learned it because I tried to order coffee and accidentally said something completely ridiculous, and the barista laughed. I felt my face get hot, and my friend whispered, "Que vergüenza." I have never, ever forgotten that word. It has a very strong, very warm-faced home in my memory.
That is a perfect example. You connected the word to a powerful, emotional, and physical moment. That's what makes a memory strong. So, for every new word, ask yourself, what does this word feel like? What does it look like? Can I connect it to a story from my own life?
So we're not just memorizing words, we're collecting experiences. That's a beautiful shift. Okay, so we've given the word a home. What's next?
Next, we have to revisit that home. This is tool number 2, the gentle return. Neuroscience tells us that cramming doesn't work for long-term memory. Seeing a word 20 times in 1 hour is far less effective than seeing it a few times over several days.
This is the idea of spaced repetition, right? It sounds a little technical.
It can be, but we can make it simple and kind. The gentle return just means you revisit the new word at the right moments. The first return should be soon, maybe the next day. This tells your brain, hey, remember that word from yesterday? It's important. Don't throw it out yet. Then you wait a little longer, maybe a few days, then a week.
It's like you're gently knocking on the door of the word's home just to make sure it's still there. It feels so much less frantic than trying to drill 100 words at once. that feeling of cramming is what makes so many people give up.
Exactly. You don't need to spend hours reviewing. A quick 2-minute look at your new words from last week is all it takes. You're not testing yourself, you're just saying a gentle hello. This process tells your brain to move the word from short-term, temporary storage into long-term, permanent memory. You're signaling that this word is part of your world now.
I love that. It's a sustainable rhythm, not a stressful sprint. Okay, so we've given the word a home, and we're visiting it gently. What else can we do?
This next tool is one of the most powerful. Tool number 3 is the treasure hunt. Our brains remember things much better when they have to work to find the information. This is called active recall.
Active recall. That sounds like the opposite of how most of us study. We just read the word and its definition over and over again, hoping it will sink in.
Right, but that's passive review. It's like watching someone lift weights. You won't get stronger. To build your memory muscle, you have to do the lifting yourself. The treasure hunt means that when you review a word, you don't just look at the answer, you create a challenge for your brain.
So, like with a flashcard, you look at one side and really try to remember what's on the other side before you flip it over.
Precisely. You cover the definition and ask your brain, okay, find this for me. Even if you struggle for a few seconds, that struggle is the most important part of the process. That effort is what builds a strong, permanent path to the memory. It's like clearing a trail in the forest. The more you walk it, the easier it is to find your way next time.
It's a fun reframe. It's not a test, it's a treasure hunt. And the struggle isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign that you're building the memory. That changes everything. It makes the effort feel productive, not frustrating.
It is incredibly productive, and this leads us to the final and most important tool of all. If you want to own a word forever, you have to use it. This is tool number 4. Take the word for a walk.
I love that image. What does that mean?
A word that only lives in your notebook is like a beautiful dog that never gets to go outside. It's not living its full life. To truly make a word yours, you have to take it out into the world. You have to use it. The act of producing the word, saying it out loud or writing it in a sentence, is the final seal on the memory.
And this doesn't have to be in a big, scary conversation with a native speaker, right?
Not at all. You can take the word for a walk in a very safe space. Say it out loud to yourself in the car. Write a funny sentence with it and send it to a friend. Use it when you're talking to your pet. The goal is simply to move the word from being something you recognize to something you use.
That's the bridge to true fluency, isn't it? When the words stop being just concepts and start becoming tools you can actually pick up and build with.
That's it. So let's give our listeners a challenge to bring all this together.
Yes, let's make it really simple and actionable.
Here's the challenge for this week. Choose just 3 new English words. Not 20, not 50, just 3. For each word, I want you to do 2 things. First, give it a strong home. Connect it to a powerful memory, feeling, or a really silly mental image. Second, take it for one walk. Use it in one sentence, spoken out loud, even if only to yourself.
Just 3 words. That feels so possible, so kind. It's not about quantity. It's about building a deep, meaningful relationship with each new word.
That's the entire philosophy. Stop trying to fill a bucket with water. Start trying to grow a garden. Be patient, be intentional, be a kind gardener to your mind.
You know, I think so many people who believe they have a bad memory are actually just perfectionists who are overwhelmed. They think they need to learn 100 words a week. But what you're saying is that learning just a few words deeply is so much better than learning many words shallowly.
It is, because those deep roots will last a lifetime. So if you're listening, we want to give you permission to slow down. Permission to be selective, permission to play with words and connect them to your life.
Your brain is not your enemy. It's your partner. And when you start working with it, giving it the connection and meaning it craves, you'll be amazed at what you can remember.
So go out there and start planting. We're so proud of you for showing up today and for being so patient with your own learning journey.
Until next time, keep growing your garden. We'll be right here